Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by rolling green hills, there lived a hard-working farmer named Rajan. He had two sons, Kiran, the elder, and Arjun, the younger. Kiran was known throughout the village for his speed and confidence. He was strong, energetic, and could make decisions quickly. People admired how boldly he handled every task. Arjun was very different. He was calm, patient, and thoughtful. Before acting, he carefully observed everything around him. Though kind and dependable, he often spent too much time thinking and planning, which sometimes annoyed his father and brother. Rajan owned a large flock of sheep, and each day the two brothers guided them to fresh pastures in the hills before bringing them safely home at sunset. Kiran always rushed ahead, running across the fields and quickly gathering most of the sheep, but in his hurry, a few sheep would often wander away unnoticed. Arjun walked slowly behind the flock. He checked narrow paths, rocky corners, and hidden bushes to make sure every sheep stayed safe. Kiran often laughed at him. "Why do you waste so much time?" Kiran mocked. "Only the largest part of the flock matters. Forget the stragglers." Arjun said nothing. He quietly continued his careful work. One afternoon, Kiran spotted a shortcut through the steep hills. "We'll save hours if we go this way," he declared confidently. Without thinking twice, he hurried the sheep along the rocky slope, but suddenly Kiran slipped on a loose stone. Startled, the sheep scattered in every direction across the hillside. Kiran shouted and ran after them, but the frightened sheep only spread farther apart. Watching from below, Arjun calmly climbed the hill. He gently guided the lost sheep one by one, speaking softly and moving patiently. Slowly, the flock settled down and followed him safely back together. For the first time, Kiran realized that rushing could create problems instead of solving them. A few days later, news spread through the village. A wealthy trader was coming to buy wool from Rajan's farm. The trader was famous for paying high prices, but he had one condition. He only bought from farmers who cared well for their entire flock. Kiran laughed confidently. "I'll gather the biggest and strongest sheep," he said. "That's all the trader will notice." The next morning, Kiran rushed through the hills collecting only the healthiest-looking sheep. Meanwhile, Arjun patiently brought every sheep into the pen, even the smallest, weakest, and slowest ones. When the trader arrived, he carefully inspected both groups. Kiran's sheep were large and strong, but several were missing, and many looked frightened and restless. Then the trader examined Arjun's flock. Every sheep was present, calm, healthy, and well cared for. The trader smiled warmly. "Which herd belongs to this young man?" he asked. Arjun stepped forward quietly. The trader nodded with approval. "This is the flock I want. True care is shown by how you treat every sheep, not only the strongest ones. Patience and responsibility matter more than speed alone." Kiran stood speechless. He had never imagined that Arjun's slow and careful nature would win such respect. Rajan placed a hand on both sons' shoulders. "Kiran," he said gently, "your speed and strength are valuable gifts, but moving too fast can blind us to important things. Arjun, your patience helps you notice what others miss. Every person has strengths, and every person has flaws. No one is perfect." From that day forward, Kiran no longer mocked his brother. Instead, the two brothers worked together, Kiran using his speed and courage, and Arjun using his patience and care. Together, they guided the flock better than ever before, and Rajan's farm prospered for many years. And Rajan smiled proudly, knowing his sons had learned the greatest lesson of all. No one is perfect. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and understanding this leads to respect, teamwork, and success. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more meaningful tales like this, don't forget to subscribe and join us for more inspiring adventures.